Dear Scott Bikes, I'm writing to check the prices of the 2023 Scott Addict RCs. Are you sure they've been typed in right? Lots of love, Bikotic. So I've got a bit of a soft spot for the Scott Addict RC. I personally own the RC30, but apart from the Basso Dimonte SV anniversary bike, the Scott Addict RC and Foil RC Ultimate versions, so this is the Addict RC Ultimate, the versions for 2023 are the most expensive bikes in the Bikotic database, and they both almost touch £16,000, which absolutely blows my mind. The Foil being £100 cheaper than the Addict RC. Addict RC being half a kilo lighter, but obviously this is an aero bike. Here's the Addict RC from 2022, fade it through to the 2023 version. Yep, exactly the same bike, but it's £2,500 more expensive for 2023, 19%. I just can't believe that. So this has got me to thinking maybe the manufacturers have realised the more they charge for the top end bike, the more we'll pay for the lower end bikes because we think that it must be amazing. I do wonder how many bikes they actually make with this top tier carbon and how many of them they actually sell. It'd be really interesting to know. Anyway, if you happen to own the 2022 version of the Scott Addict RC Ultimate, I reckon you could stick it on eBay now and actually make a profit. Boom. This is the Pro from 2022. Fade it through to the 2023 version. We've slightly changed the colour. Everything else looks the same. We clearly didn't have the ice brake pads when we shot it in 2022. And the Pro for 2023 is £800 more expensive, 9%. And interestingly, coming in at 60 grams lighter. Not sure what that is. There we go. This is the RC10 from 2022. Fade it through to the 2023 version. We've got a nice new red-black fade colour. Apart from that, I can't see any differences there. £1,200 more expensive. That's 19%. And somehow this one's got heavier, 60 grams heavier. What is there that weighs 60 grams that they've added to this and taken off the other one? Interesting. Okay, so here's the 15 from 2022. Fade it through to the 23 one. Again, we've got a paint job change. Gone to this sort of light green colour. They're both listed as having the 5236, but the 2022 one, they filmed it with the 5034. They obviously didn't have that in stock or something, but this is £500 more expensive for 2023, so that's 8%, and somehow has got 20 grams heavier. Not sure how that's happened either. So the RC20, this is it from 2022. The 2023 version looks exactly the same, other than we've taken the gloss off and we've gone completely matte. Don't mind that, quite like that. Everything else looks the same. £1,200 more expensive. That's 24%. And we've got 50 grams heavier this time. That's a lot more expensive though, isn't it? So I actually own the RC30 from 2020. This is it here. Ultegra Mechanical. And this is my actual RC30. If you remember from my previous video, I filmed it in my front room by hanging it from a beam. It actually looks more like this now. I changed the wheels, got some Vel 35s from Sigma Sports. I didn't get on with the Hunts. I found that they get caught in the wind quite a lot, which I found absolutely terrifying when I took it to Tenerife. Got a bit of a shorter saddle on it now. Back to the price comparisons. This is the RC40 from 2022, fade through to the 2023 one. And we've clearly got a change here. We've gone to the 105 Di2 from the Ultegra Mechanical, which means that the RC40 is now £1,000 more expensive than it was. So that's 26%, but it is 260 grams lighter. Personally, I think it is a bit of a shame because in 2021, the RC40 actually came with 105 Mechanical. And if you were an aspiring racer on a budget, it meant that you could get an RC for £2,899, which I think is a fair enough price to get you into the RC range. Now, the base model is £4,799. That's a 66% increase. So personally, I think that's a real shame. There's no mechanical versions of the RC now. And for me personally, that's a lot more money than I ever want to spend on a bike. And that's the base model. So it looks like I'll be keeping my RC30 from 2020 for a bit longer. I better start playing the lottery. So if you were hoping to get a bike from the RC range and you've seen these new prices and you're thinking, ooh, that's never going to happen, you could have a look in the Addict family. And this is a bit confusing from Scott. You've got the Addict RC, And the Addict, I think they probably could have thought of another name, but the Addict, as opposed to the RC Addict, is a much more endurance-focused bike, longer wheelbase, higher at the front. This version here with mechanical 105 is 8.6 kilos, 2,349. So it's a lot cheaper, but it is heavier, and it doesn't have the race geometry if you're looking for a race bike. Or if even the Addict is out of your price range, you could go down to the Speedster, which is this aluminium bike. Again, much more endurance-focused geometry, as you can see there. And this is coming in a whopping £3,000 cheaper than the base Addict RC, but also a whopping almost 2.5 kilos heavier. This is a heavy bike, 10.07 kilograms. I think hiding the cables away has made the Speedster a very heavy bike now. So as I've gone through those bikes there, I've realized there is a theme here. We just go back to the Ultimate. The 2023 version is 19% more expensive. That's got the SRAM group set on it. The Pro with Dura-Race on it is 9% more expensive. The 10 with Force on it from SRAM is 19% more expensive. The 15 with Shimano Ultegra Di2 on it is 8% more expensive. And the 20 with SRAM Force on it is 24% more expensive. So basically, Scott has put a much higher premium on SRAM-based group sets. So I don't know whether they've fallen out with SRAM and can't get such a good deal off them, or whether SRAM have put their prices up. If you know the answer to that, comment down below. It would be very interesting to start a conversation on that. And at this point, I thought it would be hilarious if we gave a little shout out to Ducati and just mentioned to them that they don't need to make these giant complicated motorbikes with thousands of bits in them anymore, because for about the same money you can actually make bicycles with far few parts in, and I'm imagining much easier to make. But it turns out that Ducati are already selling bicycles. Who knew? Albeit electric bicycles. Now that's the biggest picture I could find on the Ducati website of any of their bicycles. So Ducati, if you're listening, I'd love to put your bikes in my database, but can you send me some bigger photos please, because I can't put these little ones in. And on that note, comment down below about what you think of the pricing of the new Scott Addict RC range. Give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Go check out Bikotic.com. Until next time.